Hey guys, I'm Dov, and holy guacamole, we've got some news from Total War official, their official social media accounts here. You can see I am on Twitter, and would you look at this little thing they just dropped literally just a few minutes ago. So, if we have a look here, you can very clearly see that hunters are wanted. Fancy a fine voyage beyond the borders of Reichland. Okay, so a few things first. Empire confirmed, right? Hunters wanted. Treasures and trophies await for all that can track troublesome beasts in the jungle. Okay, we'll unpack that in just a minute. Adventure for the fearless and soon to be wealthy. Sign up today. Where do I sign? I'm sold. Hey guys, so for those of you who don't know, who are new to this channel for whatever reason, my name's Dov. I do lots of Total War Warhammer multiplayer, daily battle reports, and I am a huge Empire fan. So you could say I'm a little excited about this. So obviously, you know, just doing a little bit of digging, Hunters Wanted for me instantly says Marcus Wolfhart. There's been a lot of hints at him possibly being in the game for a long time. And if we have a look here, it's a little bit hard to see probably for you guys, but if you see kind of in the corner of this little torn poster here, there's an Empire emblem. You can pretty clearly see it's the outline of an Empire shield. And what looks like a boar's head maybe or something, I'm not really sure, some beast's head with a couple of arrows sticking out of it. It's gotta be Marcus Wolfhart. Leading an expedition to Lustria. Now the second part of this is track troublesome beasts in the jungle. Okay, so we know we're not going to Nagarond or this is Ulthuan, right? We're not fighting High Elves or Dark Elves. Something tells me that beasts in the jungle is specifically going to be Lizardmen. So is this official confirmation that we are going to get a Lizardmen versus Empire DLC? Who knows? We're going to be finding out very, very shortly. But regardless, this news has got me wildly ecstatic. I mean, I'm just quaking in my boots with excitement right now, guys. Based on all the evidence I've shown so far, I really, really strongly think that this DLC is going to be Empire versus Lizardmen. Normally, I don't make videos for news that's about something this small, but as soon as I saw this pop up, I knew immediately it was something for an Empire, and of course, me being an Empire fan, I've got to bring that right to you guys, right? So there it is. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Am I jumping to conclusions? But to me, all the evidence here points to, I mean, not to mention the feathers and what looks like a feathered cap here, everything points to Marcus Wolfhart. Now, on the flip side of that, assuming that the Lizardmen, which is a little bit of an assumption, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption to make, assuming that the Lizardmen are going to be the opposite of this. Now, I'm not an expert, I'm no lore master of Sotek by any means, but based on what I know about the Lizardmen lore, I would narrow it down to one of two options. Since we already have both the Skink Lords, there's the Croxigor dude, what's his name, Nakai, I want to say, or the White Saurus, what's his name, not Goros, Gorok, that's it. Gorok or Nakai, I think, are going to be the two most likely choices for Lord choices to be up against Marcus Wolfhart. Now, as for who would make the most sense, I can't really speak too much to that. As I said, I'm not an expert on the lore. I am very much just kind of a pleb when it comes to the lore. Like, I really know the names, and that's mostly it. Like, I know, like, Nakai is the Croxigor dude, and that's pretty much my extent of the knowledge of the lore. But for those of you guys who know a lot more, you can maybe speculate a little bit more down in the comments. For the rest of us, I'm sure you'll be seeing some videos coming soon on some other channels as well, and we'll see when the trailer drops. I am gonna do a live reaction video to the trailer. Typically when Creative Assembly has put out a little teaser like this, the trailer will be usually like even the next day or two. So expect to see a video within the next day or two as soon as the trailer drops I'm going to be all over it, getting you guys a reaction video, you know, kind of breaking down my thoughts and everything. But to me, yeah, this is... And the other thing, too, about... Again, assuming that regardless of which Game 2 faction that this is, we know for a fact that it is the Empire. So regardless, we can say, okay, this is setting the precedent now for new DLCs in the future to have Old World and New World races combined, right? And so I'm going to be very interested to see how this works mechanically in-game. I'm assuming that the new Empire faction led by Marcus Wolfhart will be available within the Vortex campaign. Exactly what roster they'll have access to would be interesting. I would put money on them not having access to Grim in the Grave stuff, obviously, unless you have Grim in the Grave. I would say probably very likely as well for multiplayer, you won't have access to, say, Karl Franz or Balthazar or some of the standard Empire stuff, in multiplayer if you only have Game 2 and this DLC. I'm very curious to see exactly how that plays out, if it is a more limited roster, or if it's just the base roster without any of the Grim in the Grave units, or if it's, you know, what exactly. Obviously, with these Lord packs previously, we've gotten new Regiments of Renown and new units as well, so assuming the trend holds up for this DLC also, the Empire and Lizardmen both are going to be getting new units and new Regiments of Renown, which will increase the power level of those factions both substantially, which, I mean, they're already both pretty strong factions, so I think the Empire and Lizardmen could potentially be jumping up to top tier. Again, assuming that the Lizardmen are... I've been working under the assumption basically the whole time that the Lizardmen are the opposite of the Empire here, because that's what this tells me. I mean, I guess it could be the Skaven. Troublesome beasts in the jungle could be the Skaven, but I don't think, you know, I don't think that's what this is implying. To me, this is implying Lizardmen. So, yeah. In terms of what this opens up for the future, a lot of people have speculated about a possible Grom the Paunch, one of the Goblin Lords versus Eltharion. He's a High Elf. Apparently there's some lore stories there, and there's a specific story where Grom the Paunch like goes to Ulthuan. So I'd imagine that story will be a pretty likely candidate for a similar DLC now that we have this sort of precedent set, I should say. And so I guess that would be Lizardmen versus Empire on one, and then Orcs and Goblins versus High Elves on another. So Lizardmen and High Elves are taken. That leaves Skaven and Dark Elves. Skaven, of course, have a massive, you know, grudge war against the dwarves, right? Skaven and dwarves are hated rivals, just like the dwarves and the greenskins, or the goblins more specifically. So I would say that it's pretty likely, I think, that we would get a Skaven versus dwarves DLC, which personally I would be super, super happy about, which I guess leaves Vampire Counts versus Dark Elves, assuming that they do, you know, one of each paired up from the two games. So we'll see. That's a lot of speculation to kind of jump to those conclusions all just from this, but I think that because this is setting a precedent for a new type of DLC, right? This is a type of DLC that we have not seen before. Yes, it's a Lord pack, which likely will be similar to other Lord packs before, but yeah, I mean, this new DLC of combining a Game 1 faction with the Game 2 faction, that is new. And so I'm very interested to see how, number one, how it actually works mechanically within game, like what you have access to, what you don't have access to, how the faction plays in game, how the new Empire faction plays in game, and then obviously what does that mean for DLC going forward? Is this pattern going to continue on, or are we going to see maybe some variations in it? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I am genuinely interested to see some discussion about this, but get excited, guys. I know I'm excited. I hope all of you Empire fans are excited out there. I know, of course, you Lizardmen fans hopefully have reason to be excited. Again, I hope I'm not just horribly wrong and that it's for some reason is the Skaven, but to me, like, just in my mind, it makes sense from the poster that it would be Lizardmen. Also, thinking through possible future DLCs, it would make a lot more sense to put the Skaven against the Dwarves, right? If you're doing like Game 1 versus Game 2 factions. So, I don't know, bit of a long video just based on one little poster here, but it is a huge piece of news. I know Creative Assembly's been hinting at it for a while, so yeah, hopefully we get a trailer sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.